Hello, hello. This week I am teaching a lesson on faith, hope, and charity. And I've talked a lot about hope in the past, that hope is so important. But I came across a talk that had a quote in there that just really stuck out to me. We know that there's, opposites in all things, that for every good thing there's a bad thing, or for every bad thing there's a good thing. And so when you're thinking about the opposite of hope, this person talked about despair and how horrible despair is. And I never thought about it in this sense. Like, I know how important hope is, and I know how much you need it, but I never thought about what happens when you don't have hope and you have despair. And in there, it's Dieter F. Uchtdorf, he said, how Satan uses despair to bind our hearts and minds and suffocate it in darkness. And I was just thinking about that, because we talk about our hearts being open and, just loving and accepting all people. But in despair, we're more closed in. We're more selfish. We're more thinking about ourselves. And then I liked the adjective of suffocating, that our mind is just suffocated. I mean, think about it. It's you think about anxiety and how that just, overwhelms your mind, that the suffocating, that's kind of despair. He says despair drains from us all that is vibrant and joyful, and leaves behind the empty remnants of what life is meant to be. He goes on to continue to say, despair kills ambition. It advances sickness, pollutes the soul, and deadens the heart. Despair can seem like a staircase that leads only and forever downward. And I've experienced this. I've experienced times when you think that there is no hope, there is no light at the end of the tunnel, and how it is a downward spiral. And how do you get hope when anxiety is very real? And it takes actual action. Like, it takes actual, if it's a staircase going down, how hard is it to go to try to get upward, to try to look at hope, and to try to just literally, actively cast those thoughts from your mind. That I feel like that as a world, as a society, that we have just this amount of despair that is just frightening, in a sense. That, I know things are hard, and I know things are bad, but dwelling on that isn't going to do any good. I know that in times in my life when we have just, well, pick a time in my life where we've had huge trials or things that are hard, that it is overwhelming and it is suffocating. And it feels like a movie that is constantly playing in the back of your mind. I know this. And you have to be active. Think about it, going upstairs. In my university, where the parking lot was and where campus was, there's this ginormous flight of stairs, this huge flight of stairs. And I remember being pregnant. going up those stairs and just being like, oh my gosh, I'm going to be pregnant forever. You think that when you're pregnant. Or I'm never going to graduate. I'm never going to do these things. And those times are overwhelming, and those times are suffocating. But hope is light that beams through the clouds on a dreary day. Hope is the Son of God. Hope is joy, is breathing, is so much more. So you need to actively try to have hope and not despair. I know it's hard. And if you need professional help, absolutely get it. I'm a firm believer in that. But try. Because I know what despair can do. And I also know what hope can do. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.